drive-by shooting. There was one male victim found at the scene. He's about 6'1", Caucasian, blonde hair, and is wearing a black shirt and blue jacket. His driver's license identifying him as Maximus Johnson.
Has the medical examiner determined the cause of death yet?
He believes it's a gunshot to the heart, but he will not make any final conclusions until he does his autopsy.
Time of death?
Well, the rough estimate would be approximately 10 or 12 o'clock last night, but he can't know for sure until he does his autopsy.
How are you able to determine the time of death? Was there a witness?
Actually, you can tell through rigor mortis. Let me tell you more about muscle contraction to give you an idea.
An electrical signal is sent through the motor neuron to move the specific muscle. The axon terminal of the motor neuron contains vesicles and neurotransmitters. The neurotransmitters are released across the synaptic cleft and is received by receptors in the sarcolemma. This creates an action potential that uses ATP that is sent through the sarcolemma and the T tubules, causing calcium ions to be actively transported out of the sarcoplasmic reticulum. The calcium then travels to the sarcomere in order to bind to the troponin on the myofilament actin. This then causes the tropomyosin and troponin to move away from the binding sites on the actin, allowing the heads of the myosin, another type of myofilament, to attach to actin. ATP is hydrolysized into ADP and the phosphate group, allowing the myosin head to move into high energy configuration. The myosin head then attaches to the active sites on the actin, allowing a cross bridge to form. The myosin head then moves back to its low energy configuration through a power stroke. The myosin head is still attached to the actin during the power stroke, so the actin is pulled closer to the M line. ATP then comes to unbind the myosin head from actin, breaking the cross bridge. The sarcomere returns to a relaxed position, ready for another contraction.
Really complex, but what does that have to do with rigor mortis?
Rigor mortis causes the muscles of the body to stiffen approximately 4 hours post-mortem. The muscles are naturally contracted and stiff due to a number of different natural processes in the body. For example, the body is not able to regulate the release of calcium ions from the sarcoplasmic reticulum to the actin, so that all the calcium ions are released all at once, causing the contraction of the sarcomeres to occur. Once the contraction occurs, there is no ATP molecules available to break the cross-bridge between the myosin heads and the actin. The cross-bridge stays connected, so that is why the muscles are very stiff after the person dies.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. We should probably get back to the case and let the medical examiner determine the cause and time of death.
Good idea. Let's get working.